Okay, good morning again, everyone. Today's presentation is the ultimate website checklist, and I've updated it a little bit for 2018 and for some new things I think are vital and essential foundational basics for your online success. And this webinar is really just to kind of give you a quick bullet point on each of the items you want to cover when you're creating your website or you're hiring someone to create it. You want to make sure that if you're hiring someone, you ask them about each one of these steps, because I've come across many clients that some web companies don't even mention it. I'm like, what? I'm like, are you nuts? Having to do with SEO, search engine optimization, keyword research. I get so many people that don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm like, okay, that's the problem. Because you don't want to spend a lot of money on a website that can never get found or have any strategy around getting found. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with everybody and go through this presentation. Share the screen, hold on. Okay. All right. I'm not sure my funky little presentation is going to work correctly today or not. We'll see. Let me see if I can put these down here. All right. All right, so how to succeed in business in a digital marketing world. This is kind of the overarching theme of this. And this is really the marketing blueprint for your online success, especially if you're a beginner or if you have a do-it-yourself website that needs some fine-tuning. So it's the ultimate website checklist for getting found, generating leads, and growing your business online. And we're certainly going to address what that website looks like. So I didn't introduce this last time, but a couple years ago, I really got an aha moment when I understood how important branding is for a business and going through the branding process. And it's really not just for big businesses anymore, because there's so many what is called kind of like Me Too brands out there. And for example, a holistic health practitioner or a life coach. I mean, there's thousands of them. How are you going to set yourself apart from all the rest of the Me Too brands so that you're distinctive, memorable, and referable? And a great example of that is I had someone come to me who tells me everything that they do. I'm a massage therapist. I do aromatherapy oils. I do energy healing. I'm an intuitive. I do this, that, and the other thing. And that's all they had to say to me. I'm like, well, okay, what am I going to do with that? You're asking me to organize you. And that's what you're doing with your potential clients. You're asking them to figure out who you are, what you stand for, and what kind of results you're going to deliver me. And that's, people come to me and they throw, I call it like throwing up on me. And now you're asking me to figure out your business. That's a lot of work. And you're going to have a hard time getting any traction in the marketplace if you don't go through the branding process. And it's a definitely, like, you got to step into courage on it. And Lisbeth was talking about stepping into courage because people are floundering because they're so not clear and they're kind of sitting in fear about having to serve everybody, which doesn't serve anybody, especially you. So I like to liken the branding process to goal setting. And I love the statistics around goal setting that 4% of people in the world that write down their goals have 9 times more success, financial success in life than anybody else. And I see branding, if you're not going into the branding effort, you're part of the 96% of the people that are not focused, of higher consciousness about their business, willing to step it up, willing to have the courage to make a stake in the ground and claim the ownership of your gift and what type of transformational results you provide your clients. So that's what I'm, trying to kind of put those two together. Goal setting, I think, is the same as branding. It's a conscious effort to focus. And many people in this world lack focus because they're trying to be everything to everybody. So, and another part of branding, which is It's short-sighted to think you can ignore it because it's providing such a foundational, vibrational foundation to what you're doing that the branding process speaks volume to potential clients and does all this heavy marketing lifting because you're getting organized, your marketing messages are clear, and now it's not so overwhelming to try to do all this marketing that you're trying to maybe do on your own. And people are out here doing social media, blogging, videos, all of this with no branding around it and nothing to keep you on track with what your brand message is and who you're trying to reach. So if you invest even like, I don't know, $5,000 to $10,000 in branding, it's going to save you tons of money in marketing because it's going to be a lot easier for you to stand out, be memorable, and shareable. So branding's it's an investment in the long run that's going to pay off for sure. And it's going to get you vibrationally aligned. This is vibrational alignment. This is what we're missing when we're not doing this. And I kind of got that, law of attraction thing. If you're out here like I do this, this is the law of attraction trying to keep up with you. It's like, okay, if you decide this, now the law of attraction can magnetize to this one point. So branding matters. And from here on out, like I wouldn't advise anyone to invest a significant amount of money in a website without it. And if I do a website for you now with everything that I'm telling you today that I'm going to share with you, it's a lot of work. There's a lot of strategy and thought and conscious, planning to have that website succeed. And without branding, you're asking me to do a lot of work that I'm not going to do for you anymore because I don't know you. You got to tell me who you are. You got to tell me what you stand for. You got to tell me who your ideal clients are. So, onward and upward. Whoops. Distinctive, memorable. Yeah, my presentation's a little off with my moving text. We're moving on. Here we go. Whoops. All right. So I have a new brand that I'm building around branding. And the website's called the Athena Arena. Okay, right there, the name alone is like interesting or not. When I first came up with it, I'm like, whoa, that's cool. I like that. It's super memorable. You tell me if you think differently. And my tagline is align with truth and supercharge your business with a Wonder Woman brand. I'm using archetypes in this particular thing. And I think, from a few people I've spoken to have talked to me about doing some personal branding efforts. They're telling me what they're doing, like I just told you someone else told me. And then I said, well, how do you feel about this? Does this speak volumes to you? Is this something memorable? Wonder Woman, whoa, I want a Wonder Woman. If I'm speaking to my ideal client that wants a Wonder Woman brand, I've already kind of self-identified. This is what she's looking for. I am courageous and I can stake my own ground and I've got wisdom to share. That's Wonder Woman and Athena. They're both kind of hero archetypes. But I want you to think about how, you tell me, is this memorable? Is it like,
can I jump in, Liz?
Please do.
I love supercharge your business. I mean, as soon as I heard supercharge, I'm like, that's what I want, because I feel like that word makes me part of the process that you're going to be helping me with, but yet you're kind of maybe supply that oomph, that I need for my business. But I love that. I love that phrase.
Yeah.
I love all of it, but that's a buzzword for me.
Yeah. So that's what Lisbeth is doing. She's supercharging their people that she's helping to move forward in a big way. So Lisbeth, I just want to encourage you to think of how you say that in like a tagline so that it's memorable. Some people will be like align with truth. There's a lot of truth seekers out there. That alone is kind of identifying a client that I want, someone who wants to align with truth and power, and they're highly conscious. They would, someone who is of higher consciousness and wants to be awakening in their consciousness would be like, there's one person aligned with truth. I just got Cheryl. She wants to supercharge her business because maybe she's not getting the traction she wants. There's another person I'm speaking to. And then Wonder Woman, if you know Wonder Woman, her archetype, that sounds like, yeah, she's courageous and wise and loving, and she stands her ground. That's who I want to be. So I'm speaking to 3 potential audiences with this one phrase. And I just want you to understand the power of this and to go through the process of now. It's kind of easy for me to do the marketing because I've got catchy phrases and images that I'll pair with that now people want to share. They're like, oh, cool, I like this. You know what I mean? And I don't know about you, but I love this woman. She's very sassy, and she's independent, and she's in Paris, and she's sexy, and she's got this beautiful car. And I don't know. That's the way I felt about it. I'm like, I want it to be her. I want her. You know what I mean? So I'm getting on the whole, you got to brand yourself bandwagon or you're going to struggle in your business. And I think the goal setting stats can be applied to this effort. It's deciding you're going to be conscious about everything. And without branding, you're not being conscious about everything. All right.
Can I share a thought or no?
What's that, Lisbeth?
Can I share a thought?
Yes.
Because I really like it. I could just feel something move in my body that was, I was a bit triggered with align your truth. The 2 other parts I really loved, because there's a lot of truth out there. And to me, it's about inner truth, because there's a lot of people who talk about what the truth is. And to me, truth is like, nobody can tell you truth. You can tell. There's not really a lot of universal truth, but your inner truth, to me, that's what's important to find. Yeah. That was just my thought.
Did you feel like Align with Truth was speaking to your inner truth or some other truth?
No, Align with Truth just triggers me a bit because there's so many truth speakers out there. So that's one of the words that kind of have turned a bit gray for me.
Okay, that's good to know.
So inner truth for me is better.
Yeah.
But so that triggered me a bit, but that's just me. The
Okay.
2 others I just love.
Okay, good. Well, that's good to know. Because you're going to have to get to understand what I'm offering to understand that I'm helping you align with your truth, not mine. And align with truth and consciousness as it pertains to the map of consciousness. That's actually scientific studies that tell you different levels of consciousness, and then how do you align with that? And how do you align with you have an archetypal pattern when you come into this world, so we're going to help you align with that. And that's like a power play I use in branding, is understanding what archetypes can you use in branding to amplify and attract your ideal client, because they, like Wonder Woman is an archetype that immediately speaks huge to the audience. And I don't have to say anything more, right? Wonder Woman says a lot. It's like a picture tells us 1,000 words. An archetype says a lot. So I'm glad to hear that triggering about the Align with Truth, because I will clarify that when I speak in videos about what I mean, because I don't want people to think I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to tell you your truth at all. You're gonna work with me to align with your own. And then I feel, as a coach, whether that feels real or if you're kind of faking it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I help you kind of feel your way into the real truth best I can.
Yeah, Cheryl wrote inner truth, and that is what I hear comes from you, and I like what she said about inner truth.
Oh, nice. I didn't see what she said. What did you say in the chat, Cheryl? I couldn't see it. And you're on mute. Hold on. Well, go ahead.
I was just thinking, how about align with your inner truth? Align with your inner truth, because it is a powerful statement. But yeah, align with your inner truth or align with your own inner truth.
Yeah.
But maybe the first one's better. But yeah, that way you're stating that it's the client's inner truth that is going to be aligned. Yeah.
So what I'll probably do is just pull out that one statement to refine it a little in other messaging, because I like the conciseness of that, align with truth, as opposed to putting too many words in there. And then, but I like the idea of getting more refined. I would use that, just align with your inner truth, in a different messaging. So that would be a phrase I'd use that would help people further understand that it's your inner truth, it's not mine. Okay, cool. Thank you for that feedback, you guys. All right. So the second part of the ultimate website checklist is you've got to understand keyword research. Someone's got to do it for you, or you do it yourself. You do not want to write content for any web page or blog post or anything without knowing how are people looking for you? You know, what words are they using to find you? You need to know that. Hold on, my slideshow is not progressing here. Dang, sorry you guys. Trying to get it to move. Here we go. So how do you get found? It starts with keyword research. And it's, again, I'm going to reiterate, it's important to know what keyword phrases people are actually using to find you. And as an example, when I did work for Kana Kubota, we're looking for the search volume of highly sensitive people versus highly sensitive persons. And I forget which was which, but one had significantly more keyword searches, like, I don't know, 5 to 10,000 a month versus 1 to 2,000. Kana, do you remember what had more search?
Highly sensitive person is the right one.
Highly sensitive person. I didn't know there was a difference, so I looked up. We did search on both, and the person one was huge relative to the other one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But the book was written under that title.
Okay.
And some people try to correct me because people is grammatically correct or something, but yes. I stick to person.
Okay. So that's what you want to understand. And another great example of keyword research is we have a member who does formulas with aroma essential oils. So she creates remedies for particular ailments. And she's printing labels and bottles and formulas for all the stuff that she's going to market without keyword research. I'm like, okay, first of all, that's nuts. And I'll tell you why. So I did the keyword research for her, and she's like, oh my God, Liz, thank you so much. Because she was going to spend tons of money on creating formulas that she's going to market with no interest on the search on Google, none. And we found out this is a better place to start with your remedies, like whatever it was. Maybe it was lower back pain. It's huge. You know, back pain is huge. Like, if you want to know where to start, let's start where there's tons of problems and create remedies for that. So that's just one example when it comes to creating products. You got to know what people want. Don't guess. You know, and then the internet will tell you exactly what people are searching for in a big way. And a huge problem, just FYI for you healers, is irritable bowel syndrome. There's like 500,000 searches a month and more on that topic alone. That's a huge problem, Lisbeth. Cash in on that one, honey. I mean, I'm happy to see 10,000 searches, never mind 500,000 to 1 million. And it's probably more of a problem in the U.S. than in Europe, right, Lisbeth? I don't know. Maybe. No. Yeah. We have problems here in the U.S. We eat a lot of garbage. All right. Anyway, so that's the importance of keyword research. And when I'm doing this for you, because I want to help you develop a content marketing strategy, I'm looking at search volume, like I just discussed about Kana's one particular phrase. You know, was it 5 or 10,000? I forget, on HSP person. Do you recall?
Maybe 10.
Maybe 10. It was big. I was like, whoa, that's big. And she's piggybacking off the book, which is fantastic. Piggyback off the book. And then the other one was maybe 1 to 2,000 for highly sensitive people. So it's still a good search phrase, but you want to go on the other one. I'm looking at financial viability. I want to see that marketers are paying for those keyword phrases. That's telling me that there's a market there and that generating leads through search is worthwhile. I'm going to look at that too. And then what I do is I gather together the top 10 phrases in that category for an overall look of the category and whether it's worth developing business around it or not. So if you're doing a business and you're focusing on a particular ailment, as an example, and I have a lot of people in the network that focus on particular ailments, I'm like, I'll look at what they're focusing on. I'm like, you know what? The search volume is like irritable bowel syndrome is astronomical. There's a market there, as opposed to, I don't know, cold feet. Okay. And one of the examples was, the client was developing essential oil remedies for cold hands and cold feet. I'm like, Cold hands was huge relative to cold feet, especially if you're marketing to skiers. If you can have some type of remedy that you put on before you go skiing so your hands don't get cold, I'm like, that's an opportunity right there. So when I do this for you, it's going to help me develop a content marketing strategy that from the beginning is smart. And you may want to blog about stuff, but I'm like, well, yeah, you can do what you want to do, but I want you to make sure you prioritize your efforts, because you're going to get mad when no one shows up, or you're doing all this work for nothing. So the next part is that you need to develop a content marketing strategy before you do a lick of web work. And that strategy, you got to map it out. And this is what I do for you. We're going to decide, all right, what does our static web page content need to look like, and how you're going to write it. It's also going to help me prioritize what blog topics to focus your efforts on. So a lot of people will blog with none of this awareness, and it's a waste of time because they don't know how to format it for search. They're not even addressing people that are interested in what they're talking about, right? It's a problem. I've done a lot of blogging, and I always do it. I look at my report before I do any blogging, because I'm not going to waste my time where there's no, you could easily write a blog for which there is 10 searches a month. Who wants to do that? That's no fun. You want 10,000 searches a month, 1,000 minimum to even consider writing a blog. The next part of that keyword research is going to help me determine what kind of lead magnet do I want to use to generate leads. A lot of people are creating lead magnets for which they have no awareness that there's interest. And that's a lot of work to try to generate leads and build out an email sales funnel if no one's interested in it and you're wondering why you get no subscribers. It's because your lead stinks or it's super weak. Another big part of that content strategy is deciding where to prioritize how to create video. And we're going to cover this next week. We're going to go deeper into this. Video is huge on your website. You cannot ignore it, especially if you hope to get new clients. You want them to see you in action and speak with you and see how you're talking and get a feel. This is your energy field here. This is you showing you, and that's how people are going to connect with video. And the stats on video is conversion rates go up 60 to 80% when there's a video present on any type of website or sales page or product page. That video is going to help sell it in a big way. And it also informs me on podcast topics, email marketing topics, and like I said before, product development, like for the essential oil remedy woman, we mapped out what products to focus on when she's doing all this work to develop product. Okay. Okay, there we go. Next, we want to address design, which is what we all talked about at the beginning. Is your website up to snuff? Lisbeth, need to do a little polishing there, woman. All right, let's talk about those key things. This is super important. You got 3 seconds to attract someone to your website and get them to stay. Ouch! You know what's going to kill that? You with the do-it-yourself website that you don't know anything about optimizing an image, and you put up a slideshow with these images that take half an hour to load. That ain't going to work. If that image doesn't load in 3 seconds, they're gone. And we all like big, pretty images on our website when you land there, but if it doesn't load fast, you're done. You just lost it. Whoa, that hurts. That's painful. And slideshows, forget it. Don't do it. Especially if you're doing it yourself, because you don't know what the hell you're doing. You don't know how to optimize that image for webs, and people that design websites do. We have the tools to make sure those images look good, load fast, and that they're optimized for use. So how are you going to grab someone's attention and keep it? All right. And everyone said here, they like to see graphics. They like to see color. They don't want to be offended and in your face. So let's find out what it really takes to deliver the goods in a good web design. First of all, it's dynamic. It's ever-changing and evolving. And people that do this for a living, they're doing hundreds of websites a year, not one every 5 years. They go to design school. They know the principles of design. So many people I'll tell you what really bothers me. I come across a do-it-yourself website. I'm like, oh my God, I can't take the time to sift through this mess. I'm like, I just won't do it. I'm like, it's too painful. And I feel like sending them an email, like, you know what, you need help, but you can't tell those people that because they're not paying attention anyway. So you want to hook up with people that are doing it day in and day out. That's how we all get good at everything that we do. You want your clients to come to you because you know what the heck you're doing. So get the help you need and stop, shortchanging yourself and being, what's the word I'm looking for? It's short-minded not to invest properly in web design. And then it's always changing. So let a designer who knows the trends get you up to a much higher level so everything's working, and then they can update it a lot easier than you because they know what's going on in the industry because they're doing it all the time. So if you still have this, this is a do-it-yourself or dated website. I mean, that should scream to all of you. There's no professionalism here. There's no clear messaging. They're hacks. Whether they are or not, they look like hacks when you present someone with a website like this. Am I being a snob, or would you agree? Thumbs up if you agree. Thumbs down if you think I'm a snob. All right. Thank you, Lisbeth, for being courageous and going with me on that one. No one has to agree with me, let me tell you. You do not have to agree. I'm all about hearing the truth of what you feel. It's different than what I feel. But, okay. So if you're serious about your online presence in your business, you gosh darn better do some branding work around it before you hire a professional designer, because it makes a huge difference. And let me just tell you, if you're going to invest in everything I'm talking about here because you're serious about your business, you're looking at $5,000 minimum to do everything that needs to get done. That's beyond just the web design. I'm talking the keyword research, the content marketing strategy. We're coming up next on SEO. Lead magnets, make sure they're tied to everything else I'm going to tell you now. That's the entry level when you're serious about your business. And I wouldn't recommend that to a lot of solopreneurs because they're not clear on what they're doing yet. I want you to have a solid business, and I have a way around this, which is the network, which we'll talk about later. But, without branding to spend this much on a website, you're going to be probably redoing it sooner than later, and that's painful. So many people are redoing their websites within 2 years because it's changing so quickly, the whole web design scene and usability, how people are using it, with mobile devices and stuff. So here's the mobile responsiveness thing. Make sure that darn thing is visible and readable and enjoyable on every type of device. And I know that mobile usage used to be at 50% and it's headed toward 60 and 70%. That's huge. And for me as a designer, I like desktop, so I design for desktop. Even though you can still see it on a mobile device, it's like so much more enjoyable to me.
Yeah. Can I jump in, Liz?
Yeah. Please do.
On the mobile device, they're making them larger, right? So, true. They're making them easier too to look at. So, it's like carrying your computer, it is carrying your desktop around with you. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. Or like the iPads and stuff. Those are nicer desktop versions that you carry around. I agree. And some of the laptops are, yeah. So anyway, super important. Make sure that that's working for you, or that 3-second rule is going to be like 1 second. If it doesn't this is not optimized for my phone and I'm out of here. So this is an important thing to understand. I highly recommend that your homepage be a one-page website, even though you may have all these supporting pages. 85% of website visitor traffic typically only looks at the homepage. And I think that the average is like most website visitors get maybe 1.5 to 3 pages that people will look at. So if it's 1.5, 85% are landing on that homepage, you might as well put your whole website on one page. And you can do that in the way that we're talking about, where people have short attention spans. You're going to have a graphic. This is what I'm doing in the Mind, Body, Spirit Network. One-page website. I want a bold graphic, a bold headline that grabs your attention, a little bit of text. That's it. Because you don't need to speak a book for people to get whether you're going to help them or not. So one-page websites are trending in a big way, and I just happen to be on trend when I developed the network to create those one-page websites for you. And when you look at those on a phone, you'll understand why they're good. Because I personally hate to try to find the menu on my phone to go to another page. I'd rather just see it all in one page and not have to figure it out. So keep that in mind in usability, that you want to turn that one page, your website, you want that home page to act like a one-page website with just short, concise pieces of information with great graphics, images that really are branded, that reflect what you're trying to do. And importantly, those images work together, right? They have a congruency and a feel, where I see a lot of do-it-yourselfers are just putting these images together that don't look good. It looks like crap because they have different lighting or they have different tones to them and they don't work. So one-page websites, highly recommend. Keep that in mind when you're building your website. Make sure the home page is a one-page website that's clear and concise. Okay, I don't know why I'm repeating this, but here it is. 75% of people have multi-use devices too. A lot of people are using their phone, their iPad, their laptop, and their desktop. That's pretty huge. And 50% of internet searches are done on a mobile device. Look at people in their car, like trying to find a restaurant or whatever, a map to wherever they're going. You got to be able to get found too. Search is huge. You got to be able to get found. Okay, we talked about, I've shared this before. There's a website called webpagetest.org. And Lisbeth, I don't think you've heard this before. But if you go to webpagetest.org and you put in your URL, it's going to give you a score as to how good your site is loading and the performance of it all. And a lot of these things, most novices don't understand what's going on because there's more like technical stuff to get set up. But you want to see something like this, all A's. You know, I was too lazy to figure out how I couldn't get an A on that B because it's like some of it's not worth my time. It's like, you know what? All A's and a B is enough. No one else is going to notice, and I don't have the bandwidth to look through all the data, figure out where the problem area is. So I was happy with a B, but I already know how to do, like in the Mind, Body, Spirit Network, most of my listing pages, at least last time I looked, were all A's for every member. They have all A's on their listing page. So the user experience is a winner, and you want that for your website. If it's like, if you get bad results, I see a lot of E, F, and D's from do-it-yourselfers. Get help. You're not getting any people staying there with those type of grades. El Stinko. All right, SEO is next, which I kind of went too fast on that one. This is next in your website checklist. You need to get help with this unless you're stubborn and you love search engine optimization and you love the technical side of formatting a page to get found on search. I like it. Most healer types are like deer in the headlight, like, what? I don't want to do that. But you need to do it. You need to know how to format a page to get found. And when I do it for people, you know, especially for beginners, I'm like, let's start with 5 pages that are solid SEO. And it's a fair amount of work for me to do that. But, you know, it runs anywhere from 150 to 250 a page, depending on the length of the content, the layout that needs to happen on that page so it presents well. There's a lot of stuff going on. So that's the price range. When you look at the cost of like an ad in a newspaper, for example, you could easily pay $200 to $400 for an ad that lasts a day and it's gone. To have someone optimize one page for you to get found on local searches, that's really your best opportunity. It's worth that because now you have a live ad. It's always there. I mean, there are things you need to do to keep up with that search, but with the healer types I deal with, their rankings stay pretty high for quite a long time when I apply my SEO to it. So it's worth the investment because people get leads, you know? So search engine optimization matters, and it's foolish to invest in a website without it, especially if you're going to pay $3,000 or $4,000 for design. Make sure it's going to get found. So it's everywhere. Everywhere you go, people are searching. It's not going anywhere. Doesn't matter where you go. Google, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter hashtags, those are all about keyword phrases. If you're big into Twitter, you need keyword research done. You got to know what hashtags to use. E-commerce like Amazon, Etsy, all those big eBay websites are all search-driven. YouTube absolutely is search-driven, and it's owned by Google, so no wonder. You got to know your search. It still matters, and you need help to do it right. Or you can try to learn it yourself, and then you're going to get mad and pissy because you're like, I hate this. I don't understand this. This sucks. Pardon my language, everyone that's watching this video, but I'm just telling you what you're going to feel if this is not your gig. If you're into analytics and you're kind of geeky like me, I have both. I like design and I like the analytics side, and I love the search side. So get someone who knows the whole picture. And this is a little more what I'm talking in here. Experts understand tofu is top of funnel, mofu is middle of funnel, bofu is bottom of funnel. And when you start optimizing your pages, I personally would like to think through where we want people to come in on. Like if you're going to write a blog post, where are they in the funnel? And if it's super general, they're just coming in at the top of the funnel. They're getting to know you. That's what that is. The middle of funnel is like opting in for something from you where they're taking the next step. The bottom of a funnel is optimizing a page for someone who's ready to buy. Like I need to buy an Apple iPhone 12. That's very specific. I'm ready to buy it now. What's the best prices? That's the bottom of a funnel formatting for search. It's a different, so that's a lot more than you really probably want to know, but you need to be aware of it. People that know what they're doing in search know where to get you started on the lead magnet, for example. You got to know where to start. You can't bring people right into a sales page if they don't even know you, and you're not a commodity. So you guys will be dealing more with top of funnel, middle of funnel type of search results. No one's not going to buy from you like right away because they don't know you. Okay, the next part of that website checklist is make sure you have a lead magnet. You got to have some type of next step for people to take when they find your website. I don't want to go too long into this. Deborah, what time are we at? Can you tell me?
Oh yeah, we're at 10:06.
Okay, I'm running late. Okay, so I'm going to kind of whiz through this quick so we can end up on time. So I mentioned lead magnets. Those are those pop-up windows everyone hates that ask you to opt in for something. Lead magnets do not have to be in a pop-up window format. They can just be right at the top of your web page, which is what we do in the Mind, Body, Spirit Network. We immediately give people opportunity to opt in because we're bringing them in on a topic that's of interest to them. You got to make sure that lead magnet has interest online. You don't want to, I'm not going to repeat, I don't have to repeat myself, but I'm just want to reiterate. Keyword research will inform me as to where lead magnets are good opportunities for you instead of guessing. You don't want to guess. That's painful to do all that work with no return. So I already told you what a lead magnet is. I'm going to kind of buzz through this. They should be ultra specific. They should have one big promise. They got to be immediately consumable. So you're going to stop doing ebooks. Nobody's going to look at that. They'll put it in a file. Oh yeah, look at that later. They're not. You guys do this. I do it. I did ebooks. I'm like, no, that ain't going to happen. A one-page PDF that gives me something to do right away to make my life better. That's fantastic. And it's got to have a high perceived value. And then when it does, it now shifts the relationship. That now people are leaning into you like, oh, that was useful. Now you're opening the door for possibility. So that's what lead magnets should be. Not a drain on somebody's time with a 300-page ebook. All right. The next step is you got to make sure that lead magnet is connected to an email automation series so that now you're capturing the lead and you got to nurture that lead. And typically an email automation series will have at least 7 emails to start nurturing the relationship, making offers, informing people more. And that series needs to be all related to the original lead magnet. You don't want to go off in tangents and confuse people. So if you're bringing them in the door on a lead magnet, stick to the topic. And again, that's a very important part of your ultimate website checklist. You've got to have some way to engage people. So does everyone understand what an email automation series is? It's that follow-up. Everyone's probably, if you've opted into anything, people have follow-up emails you'll get forever and a day until you opt out and say, I'm tired of you, right? And usually they're only like 7 emails long, but then after you have their email, then they become a part of your regular email marketing stream. So they do matter because you want that lead magnet that you're asking someone to opt in for to deliver immediately. You don't want to wait, and you need an email marketing service to help you do this, like MailChimp, Constant Contact, iContact. There's a ton of them out there. I use MailChimp. And you can't like do it on your own. You can't say, you don't want someone to send you their email, say, I want your lead, and then you respond to them through your personal email. That's not best practices at all. And people are going to forget about you if you don't deliver it right away. And I think this is the last part. You've got to have an ongoing email marketing strategy, because I promise you it takes a lot of effort to get a lead. And when you do, you don't want them to go cold. So you got to keep communicating with them until they take action, or if they're not interested, they'll unsubscribe, which is fine, because you don't want people who aren't interested. Just get them out of your list. That's fine. Don't feel bad. You don't need people that aren't interested. So essentially what we're talking about is the sales funnel, and this is where business growth happens. Most sales happen in the email funnel, not anywhere else. Everywhere else, like social media, is for branding and awareness. Okay, this is a lot of stats and I'm going over time, but you guys can come back to the video and look at this. But the highest return on investment is in the email marketing stream. So you've got to really beef that up and understand what you're doing there to convert people. And it's nice to have a marketing assistant help you with this if you're like overwhelmed by all of this. And this is what I'm asking you. I know you all are. That's why you come to me. And I try to, you know, pare it down into digestible steps. So here's the key takeaways. You got to get help with your keyword research and understand what it's telling you. You need to develop a content marketing strategy, create a consistent email marketing plan, create a lead magnet, start generating leads. And a great little tip for search is use online directories for getting found. And I created the Mind, Body, Spirit Network because I understand the power of online directories for getting found. And I don't know what you have there in Denmark, Lisbeth, for directories, but stuff like House in the US or Health Grades, those are online directories. Psychology Today, they have tremendous page one search results for people that are part of directories, and there's a reason for it. So a better way to get started in all of this, in my opinion, because I've dealt with all you healer types out there, and if you don't have a website, I highly recommend membership in the Mind, Body, Spirit Network, because I do all of this without going through all of the work and money and effort of building your own website. And a really great place to start is to just have me do the keyword research for you and organize the content strategy and to discuss branding. This is my first step that I'm offering for people that are not ready for a network membership, or they're not ready for a website, or they don't know what they're doing. This type of information that's provided in this service, you can take anywhere and feel confident that now you can develop your own strategy. If you decide to go it alone, I'm going to help you with the major foundation. So now you get it. Like the client who does the essential oils, we did this. Now she got it. She's like, oh my God, thank you for saving me thousands of dollars. I'm like, I know. Thank you for saving me hundreds of hours of time and frustration posting social media and writing blogs and blah, blah, blah. All right. So if you're interested in that service, you can go to that link and I have a video all about it. Or you can become a member in the Mind, Body, Spirit Network, which is going to get you found on page one of local Google searches, and you're going to look like a champ right out the gate. And everything you guys said you like about nice web design happens there. You have white space, you have image and graphics that work together. I tell your story without branding. You know, I do my best, but you know, I'm not going to do your branding for you. But the design and the putting together of the content and the organizing of the content, I help you do so that that one-page website in the network really stands out strongly. So this is the difference, a visual. Here's your puny little website over here for which you don't know what the hell you're doing because you don't keep up, you don't know how to blog, you don't know how to social media, you're overwhelmed. And you're like, if you put your one-page website in the network, you're getting way more visibility and searchability and professional association than you are trying to go it alone. And this is a great place to start for beginners, absolutely. If you're just starting your practice, it's like, let me help you just get good visibility and look good without spending a fortune. So bottom line of the Mind, Body, Spirit Network is you're going to look great. That one-page website is going to say, whoa. And I tell you, I have yet to have someone not OMG email me when I send them a link to their Mind, Body, Spirit Network page. I get people go out of their way to make giant fonts. Oh my God, Liz, this is so beautiful. Thank you. You get me. I'm like, I know I get you. I know you healer types. So you're going to look great. You're going to get found because I know how to get you found in SEO search like within days. I've been a champ at getting the keyword phrases that I want you to get found on within days on Google. And typically if they have a website, their website's nowhere to be found. I'm like, look at that. Not to brag, but it's kind of fun and interesting to see the results. And you're going to have a way to generate leads. And as a member, you get consultation support too, so that we're talking about the strategy. And you're not going to be left hanging when you get to a point you don't know what to do. I'm like, all right, here's the next step. We just take baby steps when you're ready. And if you're a champ and you're ready to start generating leads on Facebook, I'm there to help you with that as well. And there's a way to go about it. And and the last part of this network is you're aligning with the professional brand. So by association, you're validated. And I intend to attract super healers, people with high integrity, strong sense of truth, their own truth, and valuable services. So if you're in the network, you're aligning by association with validation. And I already get feedback when people see the net worth. They're like, oh my God, Liz, that's like quite a website. I'm like, yeah, I know. And people that are energetic people, I've heard like intuitive say, that's high vibe going on there. I'm like, I know. High vibe does all the heavy lifting, by the way. Don't need to do a lot of marketing when there's high vibe going on. All right. So the first step is to start with that consultation, which I would highly recommend regardless. And I just lost my whoopsies. Sorry. Let me go back to where we were. That consultation that we do is a prerequisite to becoming a member anyway. And it's part of the packages that I do in the Mind, Body, Spirit Network. Hold on. So you can go check out the Mind, Body, Spirit Network and pricing packages. And a lot of you already know about it. You're already members. So I'm going to guess this is for people that are watching this video. But I do recommend that if you're not sure about that for yourself, then let's do the keyword research consultation, because you're going to feel like a champ after you work with me and understand a strategy on how to deal with online marketing. So that's it. Let me stop sharing and just quickly, we're just a minute over, which isn't too bad. See if anyone has questions. Everyone that's left is already a member except for you there, Miss Lisbeth. And if you have any interest in marketing, getting clients out of the US, Lisbeth, it is an opportunity for you to get found. I'm just not quite sure how you get found by association, and just a thought if you have interest in that. Or if you have questions about, I don't know, I'd be able to help you with keyword research for your market because I don't know your language. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you have SEO done on your website yet.
No, but yeah, I just do one thing at a time. And right now my focus is just the Danish market and the European market. And I pretty much share my work via free webinars like this.
Yep.
So that's my strategy for now. I have to take it step by step. But
okay, yeah, definitely.
I love sharing my stuff in the States, and but I need somebody to partner up with so I can actually earn money in the States. So that's my next step.
Oh, right. That's that. I can't believe you can't earn money in the States. I don't understand that.
No, I need a partner. So,
okay.
But
all right.
Yeah.
So in any event, if you ever get down the line, you need any type of consulting as to what next step to take, I'm happy to help you with that. Just know I'm available. Otherwise, keep coming to these and watching our videos because I teach all of this as well. The basic stuff, so it's not too overwhelming. But I would recommend getting search help in your country. I can't help you there because I don't know your language. And if you decide you ever want to do Facebook ads, that's a good way to generate leads, but you need to be ready for that. you don't necessarily want to jump in, having that kind of content marketing strategy analysis is what I would use. I don't want to dive into any Facebook ads without that knowledge. If I'm going to partner with you, I got to do that first, because I got to have a strategy so that you're not wasting money developing leads for which there's no interest. You know, it's the same thing. Lead magnets, Facebook ads, make sure there's interest in what you're doing. Otherwise, you're going to have poor performance. So
yeah, I've got a focus for the next 2 months, and then I'm gonna shift my focus to the States. It seems like.
cool.
So
Okay. Oh.
I'll probably be back on that and joining the network. Right now, it would just be too much for me.
Yeah, definitely. There's no rush, no pressure, nothing. I just want you to know I'm available to help you if you want the help. And we love having you here, Lisbeth. And next week's topic will be good for you as well if you're going to do video, because understanding you attended the video one we did, right? The 1-minute video webinar.
Yeah, and I am doing a lot of videos in different.
Good. So again, understanding keyword phrases for that effort would help you. Definitely, because video takes a lot of effort. And if no one can find it or is looking, that stinks. All right, I gotta go. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
Stop the recording.